All right, guys, your relationship's like a little light switch, right? It goes on and off, sometimes it goes on and off, you know, on and off again. Jason, we know what we're talking about? Yeah. Okay, we are talking about that and breaking it down to see if you fall into that trap and can it kind of harm your social life and your love life. Here is licensed marriage and family therapist Leticia Murphy, who got all those sound and music questions right?
Yes,
yeah,
you did.
We need to get Monica a little screening, don't you think?
No, I think she's okay. She's okay. We got to give her a break.
Oh, you're okay. There's no monsters, right? So let's talk about that because a lot of people, I mean, I've been there too, where you break up and then you get back together and it can be a bad pattern, especially if for long term you're putting aside a really potential mate that could be better for you.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I always tell the clients is, I know that we break up and one of the worst things you could do is break up and then go back together again without establishing what we need to work on. So, and I always say, why did we break up?
Yeah.
So sometimes people break up when they're angry or maybe they didn't take out the trash or maybe they didn't value the other person. How did they break up? Did they break up on good terms or was it on bad terms? Sometimes when we're angry, we would go, I want out of here. I'm done. I'm done with you.
I mean, Ross and Rachel took a break, remember? But they ended up together on Friends?
Yes.
Yes. They were on a break, remember? So if you're going to get back together, some couples can make it work, but you have to establish ground rules and say, let's not repeat the same mistakes of the past, right? Okay.
That's so true. And what happens is sometimes we get back together and then it's really great for a week or two, but we're not having anybody do any changes. It's the honeymoon phase. So everything's great. I like to tell my clients, if you take me out on a first date, I can be really good on a first date. I don't get appetizers, I don't get dessert. But in the third date, I'm really real. I'm like, I need appetizers and I need a dessert. And it's nothing bad. So anybody can be really good for a week or two.
Exactly.
But we need real change.
And do you think too, there are some things that if you broke up, if there were little things, there is a chance to mend the relationship and go forward. But if there were some major issues in the past, you should really tread carefully?
Yes, and it depends on what we define as major issues. Physical abuse, to me, that's a major issue.
Absolutely.
Okay. Infidelity, that's a major issue. Can we overcome those things? I believe we can, but you have to be authentic, real, transparent. Changes have to be consistent and you have to have accountability.
Yeah, do you see that very often in your practice where there are couples who maybe they've even been divorced and then they try to date again or go back? Is the success rate there, or is it sometimes like you realize the kind of a selective amnesia about what happened to go wrong in the first place?
Unfortunately, I would say 50-50. Half can make it if they're willing to really do the change and permanently do the change. Not just have a change because I got you back now. Now I got you back, I can just be me. That doesn't work.
Because people are creatures of habit, and like you said, you might put on a brave face for a few weeks and try to change those annoyances you may have had in the previous relationship, but people go back to their ways, right?
They can, but I also believe that people can change. If you really want it bad enough, you'll work at it. And so if there are minor things, like I say, please leave the toilet seat up, not you, honey. But the other responsibility is the woman could also maybe just check before going in the bathroom. There are minor things that we can work through, and then there's some major things that unfortunately we can't.
Don't go back that direction too. And also too, I think if you keep going back to the same bad relationship, Mr. Right might be like right there. You missed the window, right?
Absolutely. If you're spending a lot of time with the wrong person and you know it's not going anywhere, you're right, Mr. Perfect, or not, there's no perfect people, but Mr. Right could be walking around, but you're wasting your time with Mr. Right now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't want Mr. Right now unless he's really cute. All right, Jason, over to you.